first thing I noticed about that video was how freaking big this man is compared to a normal human being. LeBron he's the Thanos of the NBA. Like, my God, Stephen A looked like a little peon standing across to him, especially with the proximity. Like, he was in his face.
Yeah. We're going to start off standing on business. That's what the kids say these days. We're going to stand on business. Because there's two gentlemen who, by all accounts, both equally stood on business in different ways. But this kind of turned into a little situation when the Lakers played the Knicks.
At home.
Stephen A. Smith was there. And not at the beginning of the game, not at the end of the game, but in the middle of the game. He was confronted by LeBron James. But no, he was confronted by LeBron for some comments that he made about LeBron and about Bronny.
I would say to LeBron James, do you not know who these NBA players are? Do you not know who your contemporaries are? Do you not know how great the NBA players are, the greatest players in the world? And your son is being exposed. Bronny James, I hope he's an NBA player someday. I'm rooting for him. I'm cheering for him all day, every day. But he's not ready yet. Opening night is one thing. Continuing him in NBA games is another. It shouldn't have been 2 games he played in, let alone 13. Come on. Right. Pop's got to step in and I can't expose my son to this just yet. This ain't right, respectfully. It's not right. Obviously, LeBron felt some kind of way because all the videos that went viral on X that people took in the stands, you can see them head bopping, arguing. You know, LeBron, I think somebody was trying to do the mouth reading. Like, you kind of tell, he said something about I don't give a shit, leave my son out of this. So some pleasantries were exchanged. Some maybe potentially unsavory words. From the other side of the account, it appears, or at least one account said that Stephen A retorted that I stand by what I said. So we had that. And so I just wanted to see, now obviously Stephen A has come out and he talked a little bit about it on First Take and all of that since it went viral. So I want to see what your first take is about this situation.
Bro, both gentlemen are, I guess, elite in what they do in their arenas, right? So naturally, when this situation presents itself or this head-on battle goes, it was like, it's got to go viral. There's no other way, especially
in this age?
In Lakerland. Like, anything that happens there almost goes viral. So it's crazy because Stephen A generally has a good working relationship with most NBA players.
Not Draymond.
Well, not Draymond, right?
There are some that don't like him.
Correct. But for the most part, he's a decently respected figure in that circle of.
He pisses a lot of people off.
He does, of course he does. That comes with the job, I guess, right? With where he's at. But LeBron's a guy who generally he's very media savvy. He's a cool head. Like he's handled a lot of media interviews where people ask him a lot of off the wall questions with a lot of tact, diplomacy, and just giving the right answer, right? The media answer, the public answer. So for him to get up and say, I'm gonna, in the middle of a game, walk over to where that guy's sitting over there.
And just for the record for him, but it wasn't like in the middle of the game. It was during a random timeout.
Correct, random timeout. He's still locked in. He's still a professional. He's an athlete, right? No, during a timeout to walk over, I think third quarter, like you said, he made to walk over there and say, I'm going to talk to this gentleman who has been talking to about my son. Gotta say something like, you must have hit a nerve, right? Like family matters. So as a father, I LeVar Ball, right? Another example, a guy who speaks up for his sons. And you don't really hear a lot from his sons, except they defend their father when he speaks up for them. I think LeBron, he must have gotten irritated, right? He said, I'm going to go have a conversation with this man. Like you said, head bobbing. And so it must have been a lot of choice words that we can't speak, or we generally don't speak around kids. And man, I don't know, me as a father, if some other guy was talking to my son who just got in the league and he's still learning the lay of the land, and again, with the name James on your back, right? The pressure, it's been there. Been there since you were yay big, especially as you're getting older and now you have the same interest of profession as your father. You're going to be compared, obviously, right? To the nth degree, like no other kid. So maybe LeBron just had enough, right? Maybe Savannah texted him. Better go talk to this guy, Stephen A, right? You're getting in my son's. Whatever. No, I'm just messing.
Is it like at least he didn't Will Smith?
Oh, bro.
At least he didn't Will Smith.
Keep my son's name out your mouth.
Keep my son's name out your mouth.
What I do know is that me as a father, I probably would have done this. Probably not in the middle of a game to make it a public spectacle, but separately, give him a call, FaceTime, whatever, or maybe see him after the game and handle it like that, right?
Meet me by the bus.
I wouldn't pull a Carmelo.
If you're Stephen A, LeBron says meet me by the bus after the game, are you going?
No,
after those broad shoulders rolled up.
The first thing I noticed about that video was how freaking big this man is compared to a normal human being. LeBron he's the Thanos of the NBA. Like, my God, Stephen A looked like a little peon standing across to him, especially with the proximity. Like, he was in his face.
Yeah.
And you ever seen Friday?
Yeah.
The Friday when Debo shows up and Smokey be like, Smokey was also Stephen A. And after Debo leaves, after he bullies them or whatever and leaves, Friday, Smokey was like, hey, when he say shut the F up, I be quiet. But when he leave, I'll be talking again. That's what that moment was.
Yeah.
Because Stephen A didn't look like he had much to say, and LeBron was doing most of that talking.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't seem like he needed much to say other than I stand by what I said.
Even if he had something to say, I don't think he would have been talking at that point.
I mean, I don't know. Stephen A doesn't seem like the type to back down either, no matter how they decide discrepancy. But my thing is this. Again, as you said, like, as a father, I get the tendency, right? Although still, like, as long as it's not disrespectful, I still actually want my son to hear it, because it's gonna get worse the older you get, and especially if you don't become LeBron James and you don't take over the league and you're just let's just say you max out at a role player, right? Which is fine. I mean, how many people in the world get to be a freaking NBA role player?
Correct.
Right? So even if you max out there, that comparison, that pressure, because you got that James name on your back, the criticism is always going to be there.
Of course.
So for me, I actually looked at it from a different perspective of, like, if I were Bronny, I'd be like, yo, Pops, like, chill. Because now this whole thing has gone viral, and he needs his daddy to fight his battles. I mean, like, at a certain, like, I don't know, I guess that's just me, and I'm not saying anybody's saying that, and I'm sure that Bronny don't need his dad to fight his battles for him. I'm just saying, like, if that were me, like, I wouldn't want my parents, like, yo, I'm an adult now, I'm in my profession, like, you don't have to call the people who are critiquing my performance to stick up for me. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a weird dynamic because they work together, but that's where, to me, it's like you got to separate the father thing, father-son thing. And I'm sure it's hard.
Of course.
And I don't know, maybe he got cut up. Maybe he just was like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing what this has to say, But I just think if I were going to do that as a father, I would stop and consider, like, okay, what's the impact of this on my kid?
Correct. And do it privately, right? Don't do it publicly.
So that's the other part too, that it was so refreshing in the year of 2025 to see two grown men just not even hash it out to get to just say what you got to say in person. No keyboard warriors. Right. No, I'm going to go and I'm not going to say nothing to you in person, but I'm going to talk on my podcast. No, like, we're going to come up face to face, eye to eye, though Stephen A had to look up a little bit. But we going to look at each other, say what we have to say, good, bad, or indifferent, and keep it moving. That's refreshing.
I wonder, were there any clips of Bron afterwards, post media?
There may have been. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
Because obviously Stephen A had plenty to say.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll hear more. It's this
what I want to know.
Fresh.
What I want to know is when they question Bronny, what's he gonna say?
It's a good question. We have to go have to Google that one.